Welcome, Alec Balasescu, to this Miss AI chat series.
Hello, Nancy. Good to see you again.
Good to see you. Alec, you're an anthropologist, an author, a researcher, and a speaker, and you're also a professor at the Simon Fraser University, as well as the Royal Roads, Victoria, BC. And as an anthropologist, I have a question for you today, and that is, how will humans change with artificial intelligence?
Well, isn't that the biggest question? Everything we've done in terms of technology changed us. We create a technology in the same measure in which technology creates us. The humans before, let's say, the humans before telephone were different than the humans after telephone, and the humans before smartphones were different from the humans with smartphones. And I'm old enough to remember. That if the phone rang, you would think maybe 3 times before answering it. Now, if the phone rings, you'd abandon everybody around you just to answer to it. So that's a small change, but it's a big change at the same time, because it changed the way we relate to each other. Now, it's a speculative question, and I don't have a straight answer to it, except the fact that we will and we do definitely change. For example, I think, and there are a lot of writings about that, our perception changes. The way we perceive the world change with artificial intelligence, as it changed with the invention of Photoshop. A lot of people who work in design may complain that the sky is not as blue as on the screen because it doesn't have the same palette. Nature has a different palette than Photoshop. And maybe people feel disappointed too when they travel and they arrive in some locations that they don't look like the picture because of the intensity of colors. Yeah. Now, the artificial intelligence it's designed mostly by engineers for the moment. And there is such thing called utilitarianism, that is the approach of an engineering perspective, and it's useful because it builds things. Now, will that, through the use of artificial intelligence, will that expand into the way we see our relationship? Will we be more utilitarian than we already are? Will we be more binary? Although deep learning, people who are in deep learning, they will say, no, this is not a binary system. Ultimately, it is. So will we be more and more, we will be thinking more and more in binary terms? We don't know. There is certainly a link right now in the rise of extremism in politics around the world and the social media. And there has been a lot of arguments how social media selects and exposes us to things that we kind of already inclined to with artificial intelligence bots, and creates that divide in which it's either or. The capacity of human intelligence is to hold two contradictory sentences at the same time in mind. A machine doesn't do that. A machine works with logics of tertium non datur, that the third way is excluded. We work with and or as a possibility. So will we be able to build artificial intelligence that can hold two contradictory sentences at the same time? Or will we become unable to hold two contradictory sentences at the same time? I think this is the biggest question.
Ourselves as humans, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
Indeed. Yeah. There are many big questions in AI, and I'm really glad that you take the time to help us understand the view of an anthropologist. Thank you, Alec.
Thank you, Nancy, for having me.